The rise of Alex Albon. Alex Albon is living proof that if you get knocked down in motor racing, you can get back up and be significantly stronger for it. The Thai drive's future in F1 looked bleak when he was dropped as a race driver by Red Bull at the end of the 2020, and mentally he was in a tough spot. However, as time went on, and especially after he joined Williams, things have taken a 180-degree turn, and now Alex Albon is being branded as the most wanted driver on the grid, with the latest race in Monza showing how he became a fearsome fighter and a driver who never gives up. How exactly did this massive transformation take place, and what's the future now for Albon? Alex Albon gratefully accepted the opportunity offered by the energy drinks company, embracing a backup role. This second chance allowed him to restore his confidence and cultivate resilience, enhancing his natural ability on the track. Then he made a comeback with Williams, a move Red Bull significantly supported, and his performances not only secured him a better contract with the British squad, but also caught the eye of competing team managers throughout the paddock. Despite not having a hugely competitive car, the Williams driver has delivered an impressive performance in the first half of the F1 season, accumulating 21 points to put the team 7th in the Constructors' Championship. With Albon's contract set to expire at the end of the 2024 season, speculation has emerged about his potential as a favoured contender for seats in the 2025 market. Reports indicate that 2 teams had shown interest in him for 2023. As mentioned previously, one was Alpine, and the other is thought to have been Haas, who were evaluating potential teammates for Kevin Magnussen. Albon's prominence has grown this year, and at 27, he currently stands 4th in the official F1 power rankings, which measure a driver's performance against their equipment's capabilities. The only ones surpassing him are Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, and Lewis Hamilton, which is indeed a very esteemed company. Albon appears transformed compared to when he was deeply affected after his Red Bull departure, and the strain once very evident in his demeanor has vanished, and the mental burdens that once weighed heavily on him have significantly lightened. His radiant smile has returned, and he's truly thriving. This is why the Williams team simply adores him. His presence has been invigorating, both at their Grove headquarters and in their racetrack garage and hospitality sections, and beyond being incredibly amusing and charming, which makes people naturally gravitate towards him, he has matured into a comprehensive race car driver who consistently performs. Jost Capito, the former head of Williams, enlisted him with an expectation of leadership, a first for Albon in F1. Leaving behind the setbacks and challenges he experienced at Red Bull alongside Max Verstappen, Albon has exceeded these expectations with flying colours. During his 18-month stint with Williams, Albon has established himself as one of the most challenging drivers to overtake on track. While a significant part of this can be attributed to the team's straight line speed, the fact that Albon has gained this distinction and Logan Sargeant hasn't implies that the racer from London has synchronized perfectly with the current Williams model. His performances in Montreal, Silverstone and Monza are particularly notable, with each race having sections characterized by high speed, allowing the aerodynamically efficient FW45 to capitalize on straight stretches, leaving corner concerns for later. In Montreal, Albon masterfully kept Ocon at bay despite relentless pressure. Meanwhile, at the British Grand Prix, he managed a balancing act, defending against Leclerc's Ferrari while pressuring Alonso's Aston Martin around Silverstone. In Italy, although he couldn't fend off Hamilton's Mercedes, he managed to hold off Norris for most of the race and kept Oscar Piastri focused on his taillights for a good part of the race. On tracks with abundant straights, Albon has perfected the art of defending in the turns and accelerating away on straight paths, mitigating slipstream attacks. This isn't merely a defensive strategy, it's a strategic utilization of the car's strengths. With Albon at the wheel, Williams can be confident about securing points on such tracks. Currently, with 21 points, he has outdone George Russell's 2021 record, making him the top-scoring Williams driver since 2017. Considering Williams' decline post-2017, this is an admirable achievement, though it's also a somber reminder of the team's glorious past. With Doralton Capital's investment and James Vowles' leadership, Williams is progressing, aiming for 7th in the Constructors' Championship. Albon is central to this resurgence, being the sole contributor to the team's point tally. That's not to say he's been infallible in 2023. Both Melbourne and Baku races could have yielded more. An unintended line at Turn 5 in Melbourne led to to a crash, while an early mishap in Baku disrupted his race. Such minor mistakes with significant consequences illustrate the precarious position Williams is in. Albon's recent commendable performances have made him a prime target for teams in 2025, highlighting his successful redemption post his challenging Red Bull phase. His early promise in 2019 was marred by mistakes, especially when the Red Bull car's rear didn't favour his style, and by 2020, when the car's behaviour remained unchanged, something Verstappen could harness but Albon couldn't, his morale plummeted. It was something Russell picked up on early that season and stated that Albon was being made to look like an idiot, and he's absolutely not at Red Bull. Albon perhaps didn't help himself during that year's Nürburgring race, appearing put on during his radio complaints that they race him so hard, but 3 seasons later he's racing with the best of them and making their lives more difficult in return. Credits to Alex, he drove a very good race, Norris said after this year's Italian Grand Prix. He didn't make any mistakes, which is annoying, but I tried. We had good battles, but they were too quick for us in the straights. I think he knew I was there in turn 1, where Norris felt he was pushed wide by Albon, so he definitely got off the brakes and centered in a bit harder than he normally did. If I tried to stay on the inside for turn 2, then there would have been a crash, and we probably would have done a Max and Lewis from 2021. I think it was fair. We race fair. He did as well. Of course, you have to be elbows out sometimes, and he did that. Revitalized during his time at Williams, Albon stands on the precipice of vital career decisions with a year left on his contract. Although Ferrari has dismissed any talks with Albon for a potential spot when Carlos Sainz's contract concludes in 2024, team principal Fred Vasseur is no stranger to him, given their shared time at ART Grand Prix during the GP3 and F2 eras. With many contracts ending next year, the F1 driver market is anticipated to be tumultuous, and Albon might emerge as a significant contender, contingent on the reshuffling of the grid. Navigating the next steps of his career will indeed be challenging for Albon and his team. Committing to Williams may mean a long haul before the team finds itself competing at the top tier. This would potentially use up Albon's prime years, landing him in his early 30s by the time the team might emerge competitive again. In his current environment at Williams, Albon seems to have found a comfortable place. He's more content, relaxed, and arguably driving better than he ever has. Staying with Williams has its perks. If they evolve into a formidable team, Albon will not only be credited for being an instrumental part of the comeback, but he'll also potentially have a team crafted around his strengths. However, the intrigue from rival teams is tangible. Notably, many from the Red Bull hierarchy are said to hold Albon in high regard, and conversations, whether they were formal or informal, have taken place with several teams, including some leading ones. The 2025 driver market is buzzing with activity, and with nearly every team except McLaren having at least one seat up for grabs, the options are present. While Albon hasn't yet claimed a race victory or championship, it's essential to recognize that such achievements are rare, and what he has demonstrated is his undeniable talent, making him one of the current grid's brightest prospects. Few drivers showcase the level of skill and consistency Albon does. If he continues on this upward trajectory, it's hard to envision him not being a prominent figure in the 2025 driver discussions, and considering the downturn his career faced in 2020, this comeback and potential rise is nothing short of remarkable. What do you think? Will Albon stay in Williams? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and we will see you in the next one.